annual Goodman, I don't know, holiday party live stream thing where I gather as many of my favorite people as I can, and we sit and chat about the holidays and whatever we've been working on over the last year. And my first guest is one I have been trying to wrangle for years, but as we all know, he's very difficult to reach, and this year we are so lucky to have his presence, Mr. Harley Stroh.
Haley, thank you so much for having me on. Oh my God, like we gamed together when you were like 9.
I know. It's the life journey that I have been on that you guys have all watched me through is I joke, I'm like I have 40 uncles that have known me since I was this big
Oh,
that are just going to be around my life forever and I wouldn't have it any other way.
so fun. Well, happy holidays. Thank you for hosting us all. And yeah, thank you for making this happen again. This has become a really cool tradition. So thank you.
Of course. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things. I get to see my extended family. And I wouldn't have it any other way. How are you though? How are the holidays? What big plans do we have?
I am well. I am well. I am super blessed in that my family is healthy. I have, Stella and Jacob, and one day, hopefully they're gonna game with you at a table at Gen Con, and
I can't
you know,
wait.
right, like Stella will be, 9, and and looking up to Haley and be like, yeah, this is, when I ran a game for her, she's running a game for you, and then we have Jacob coming up through the ranks, and yeah, so all is well.
Good.
Yeah, how's your family? How are things going?
We're good. We're getting through it. It's been a rough
Okay.
couple months, but we are, powering through as we always do. I just finished my finals yesterday, so I'm very excited to I'm very excited to be done finally. Final grades are coming in and just I get to go home tomorrow and
Oh,
I'll enjoy it for about 4 days and then I
uh-huh.
will be ready to come back.
Oh my gosh. Wait, so how many more years do you have left? I mean, you got to be almost done.
I graduate with my bachelor's in May and
Oh.
then I'm applying to grad school that is due on January 15th. So fingers crossed that I get more school somehow. Never thought that would be something I was wishing for.
That is super amazing.
Yeah,
So,
so
what have you had going on this last year, Miss Sketch?
this last year, well, the school and work as always, but the really exciting thing we've had going on is we have finally launched Dynamaps.
Right. Oh my God, that's
In
so wonderful.
October. Yeah, I gotta find mine now. I'm not a good believe it or not, I'm in charge of our social media. You never know based on my organization. But we finally are getting to release Dynamaps and I'm sure my dad will have a lot more to say about it later, but after 10 years of work, we have finally gotten to release it.
With all the nano tentacles,
All the nano tentacles.
do you have a wall or something you can stick them on and just like
I
show us
do
how rad they are?
actually. I do. I'll stick them to my advent calendar. That'll be festive.
Oh my God, dude, you need a Dynamax advent calendar. How rad would that be? Like you peel it off, and what do we get today? We get a monster. What do we get today?
So
Oh, there you go.
advent
Okay.
calendar, just piece of cardboard.
Oh my
You
God.
just do that guy, and they're on there. And then when you're ready for them to come off, you just peel them right off.
How
So
sweet are
yeah,
you that you have an advent calendar? Who sent you an advent calendar?
my Oma, she
Oh,
gets one for all the grandkids, and when I come home for Thanksgiving, she makes sure that I take one with me. And I
oh,
haven't been good about it this year. I think my last one was like the 15th. You
are
can
they
tell when finals began.
are they like the chocolate kind where you pop one out, or
Oh
just like
yeah. Oh yeah. Let me find. Let's see. Today's 21, right? So
yeah?
we have
What?
our little
Oh,
chocolate doorway. Let's see what shape we've
yeah.
got
What'd you get
today.
today?
Oh, it's stuck in there. Oh, it's a little angel.
Oh,
um, yeah, so she always makes sure that we all have one, and she's really on top of it because she plans for when I leave to come back here.
oh, that is
Yeah,
super sweet.
yeah. So that's been our
That's
big
super sweet.
exciting news for the year. Are these guys?
Congratulations. That's so awesome.
Thank you, thank you. What
Like,
about you though? What have you been up to?
well, okay, so Haley, this is not the point of this show, and I've been contemplating this up and down, and I'm not sure it's the right thing to do, but I have a basement full of ephemera of DCC stuff. Like I don't know if you can see it. Are you invited to Catastrophe Island? OAR stuff and like the old DCC koozies. Cedric Khan was right.
You guys can't see. Calm down, Dad. Calm down. Stay in your chair.
Anyways, so so just recently, Goodman Games, they announced this like they were supporting like the Toys for Tots thing for the yeah, was it YWCA toy crawl? Anyhow, I was here's what I'm thinking, Haley. And again, you can nix this. I got some party like it's 1974, Warlords of the Purple Planet, which you nearly won. I was so proud of you that year when
Thank you.
you were like 11. Anyways, I was thinking that the folks that donated to the YWCA, they could email me at Harley at Goodman-games.com and say, hey Harley, I gave $5, $10, $50, whatever, $500, whatever, to the toy crawl, or just to, whatever, YWCA, the Goodman Games is supporting. And then I have this roll of stamps just burning a hole in my pocket, and a bunch of envelopes, and I can mail all said DCC ephemera, to, so send me your address. It's the honor system. You don't have to prove that you actually did anything. Just tell me that you donated something to somebody that's good, made the world a little bit better today, and I will mail you some of the stuff that's in my basement.
That is incredible, Harley.
Well, no, it's not though. I mean, that's what we do, right? Like,
It is though, and that's what makes this community amazing, and that's why I love each and every one of you so much,
so,
because these are the kinds of people that I am so grateful to have in my life.
well, that so anyway, so that's, help me
So
out,
you
support
heard
my
it here
marriage.
first, folks.
Yeah, like,
Support and harass Harley.
email me again, Harley at Goodman-games.com. Post it in the chat. I don't know. Let's give some toys to little kids, and it's not going to be amazing. It's postcards, it's stickers. Oh, Haley, I have some of the old tattoos. Did you ever get any of those?
We have some, I think, in my childhood bedroom.
Yeah,
I have
right.
a
No, 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 no.
bunch.
I got a
Yeah.
couple of tattoos left. I got,
Oh,
anyways.
next time I do X crawl, I'm giving myself DCC face tattoos. I don't know how I haven't thought of
Well,
that sooner.
only if you donate to
Yeah,
YWCA.
yes,
So, all
yeah.
right,
So
okay,
we're all gonna have to donate now, including
all right,
me.
all right. So make it happen. Let me empty
Yes.
my basement, and that's me for the holidays. So,
That is incredible. Now, I have heard other things like the Purple Planet collaboration we've
right.
been working on, Harley,
Okay, all
and
right,
I
all right,
think
all right,
I
all right.
have to do my due diligence
Okay, all
and
right, fair enough.
ask.
All right. Yeah, what we just oh, I just actually literally just got the Purple Planet box set. Well, not the I got the box of the stuff in the mail. Yeah, the Purple Planet just came out, which they did a beautiful job on. Matt Hildebrand is an absolute genius. Mike Curtis is brilliant. And then of course, working with Doug Kovacs to make the visual atlas of the Purple Planet, the Delisle Croom, Doom Quest. Anyways, yeah, Purple Planet came out great. DCC 100 was a wonderful. Looking forward to the next thing I'm writing. But
Any
yeah,
sneak peeks on that or no?
oh,
Top secret? Top secret?
it's only top secret because I'm so slow. Who knows? Like, I'll say it now, and you'll be like, next year, you'll be like, hey Harley, how's that thing you're working on? I'm like, it's still the same thing. Yeah, there's
That's,
no.
you know what? I understand. How many years have you guys been asking me if I'm gonna write, and how many years have I been
Oh my
saying
God,
next
woman,
year?
you need to get this done.
Every single year, I'm like, by next Christmas, I'll have something, and
Okay.
every year
Oh,
I
okay.
fail.
Okay. All right. Okay. Hold on. Let's put our hands to the screen.
Okay.
All right. All right. All right. Haley Sketch, you are going to write this thing. What are you going to write for us?
I'm gonna write this. I'm just working on an adventure module. I just wanted one module, and every time I make it halfway through, and then I have a different idea, and then I stop, and then I switch. So it is a matter of I've literally been working on the same one since I was a freshman in college. I
Oh,
remember like the drive to Wisconsin with my dad. We'd be sitting there and we'd be brainstorming and like coming up with ideas, and I'd be writing stuff down. So it's the same one that I've been working on for like 5 years now that I just refuse to make progress on.
make it happen. Come on. Come on. Make it
I'm gonna
happen.
try. I'm gonna
You
try.
have
If
it.
I don't get into grad school, I'll have nothing but time this year. So
Well, and if you do get into grad school, this is what'll get you out. Like that'll.
exactly. You know what? That's the right way to think about it,
Awesome.
Harley.
Awesome. All right.
That
All right.
well, it sounds like everything is going incredibly for you right now, and that is all I could ask for my favorite people. So
So good to see
thank
you.
you. Yeah, good to see you too, and thank you so much for being a part of
Thank
my,
you for having me on.
of course. And we will be right back. And we are back with another one of my uncles. Brendan LaSalle, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I am alive and well, and that's all you can ask.
I love hearing that. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too, sir. What fun holiday plans do we have going on?
I had family in town today. My wife and I are going to do a special Christmas Eve thing, just the two of us, and then we're going to do Christmas Day with my family in Marietta, and it'll be lovely.
Very
Music,
fun.
presents, the whole thing. I can't wait to see everybody.
That's incredible. I keep forgetting we're actually this close to Christmas. I like in my mind there's at least another week in between like now and Christmas, which is just not the case.
Yeah, no, no, no. Yeah, it did sneak up on me this year very much. Luckily, I had a couple of ideas last month, so I've got a few presents for a few key people that I've had stashed for a little while. So,
Good,
you
that's
know,
good. I
but oh,
I sent one Christmas present and it was also a wedding gift for someone, so I was like, I'm getting two birds, one stone. And then I
nice.
have not done any since then, and I have informed my family this year. I no, tough. I love you all, but no, I can't do it
Outstanding.
this year. Even this, I was like, I'm gonna be ahead this year. Every year at the last
Yeah.
minute, I am like reaching out to people, and I'm gonna be ahead this year. Emailed Elena in November, and then
Mhm.
just never answered her email back.
No.
Classic.
I
I will make the
know.
same mistake year
But
after year.
it's because the holidays always feel like they're further away than they actually are, and then it's happening to you.
Yep.
That's happened to me again every year. At some point, like as soon as it starts to get like cool out, I'm like, this year I'm definitely doing Christmas cards, and then like there will come a day where it's like, oh no, no, that's they would get there. Like we had this conversation literally this morning. I'm like, can we do cards now? Oh, they'll never get there in time.
Yep.
Let's hold off. And it's
Yep.
like, you know.
Every year I'm like, this year I'm gonna be prepared. And then when I
Mhm.
was a kid, I feel like the Christmas build up, I had a countdown, I was ready. And now, like since I turned like 17, it's just been like, what do you mean it's Christmas? In the best way possible. Don't like
Yeah,
that's an excited. What do you mean it's Christmas? But like it sneaks up every single year.
I hear you.
Well,
All right,
it's
I have
glad to
to
hear
ask.
that you're with family. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'll be great. We have issues like everybody, but it's I'm really looking forward to spending the holiday with everybody. It's gonna be a good time, and
Yeah.
it's my favorite time of year. I get all excited about it every year, so it's good. It's good. It's good right now.
Yeah.
You know, couldn't be more excited.
Yeah. All right. You said you had to ask something.
I was going to ask. We haven't talked about anything about gaming yet. So, have you been gaming lately?
Yes.
What have you been getting up to? What have you been doing?
This is, the first thing I've done in a while gaming related. I think the last thing was probably Game Hole Con, which
Okay.
was again
Yeah.
Dynamaps. I'm getting all my social media posts right here, right now, so that he doesn't bother me about them while I'm home. Um, so I'm just gonna keep holding it up. But it's just been working on things like that behind the scenes. We just did something for Crawl for the Cure for Dynamaps and
Awesome.
holiday things and Black Friday. And so just things like that right now. Day to day, it's been, for the last 2 weeks, I've been spending 4 to 8 hours a day just studying the brain. So not a lot of time left
Yeah.
over to spend gaming, unfortunately. How about you,
I
though?
understand. The only thing I've got, like my weekly right now, I run a weekly for my nieces, and I'm running X Pro for them. I know like 17, 12, and then they play plus my brother-in-law and his cousin.
That's
So
so fun.
yeah, it's cool. The youngest one hadn't played yet, and then just was like, can I jump in and try? So she made up a gnome, and now she's on the team, and it's been hilarious so far. So
That's
what
awesome.
you've been
Now, are
getting to.
they like normal players or are they bloodthirsty murder hobos like some of us?
No, they're actually pretty normal. The older one is playing a criminal. Like she took the criminal class, and I was like, I don't know what she's going to be able to actually like. I thought it was going to hamper her in the arena stuff, but like she's getting like using her criminal contacts to get dossiers of
Oh,
like the
nice.
competition, and like she snuck poison in a ketchup packet, and
That's incredible.
yeah, it's been super
That's
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so fun to hear.
yeah.
I love hearing about young women in gaming. It makes
I
my heart
know.
soar. Every time I see it on Facebook or anything, I'm like,
No, I totally understand. I have so I mean I've been playing since '77, and like we had a couple of two sisters that played in our original group, so I was used to it at a young age. But then it seemed like you start the convention circuit and it's 99% just exactly who you think of as gamers. You know what I'm saying? But over my career and my gamer life, I have watched that change and get more and more inclusive and more diverse, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely heartwarming, and I love seeing more women, more young women in gaming. It's super cool, and my
Yeah.
nieces are awesome. So
I love it. When I first started going to Gary Cons, my brother and I were the only kids there. I
mhm.
think there was one other family with kids. And
Wow,
now it's, you're tripping over them as you're walking through. I love it. There's always
absolutely.
one at the table or one in the tournament or something, and I try and, run a kids game here and there when I can because it is so near and dear.
I saw that. That was super cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome.
I had you. You were very very young. You were in my first GaryCon game that I ever ran.
Really?
Yeah, you've been going since the beginning. I wanted, or very early on. But that was my first one that you were in. And you were maybe 12 or something like that. It was
Yeah, I
uh,
think my first Gary Con was like Gary Con 2 or 3. My dad will correct me in the chat. I can see him typing.
mhm.
3. Yeah, Gary
The
Con
last
3.
the last one in the old location.
Yeah,
No,
no, no.
because okay.
We
So my okay.
I was gonna say I don't know because I remember running around the old hotel for years. Like my brother and I would
Mhm.
just terrorize that place. And then it switched. The new location was fairly recent, I think. I don't know. I'm getting old. It's all jumbled together.
I
I don't.
understand. Yeah, my
But
my
yeah.
first GaryCon was the last year at the old location.
Okay. 7 or 9 was the new location. See, this is why I keep him around because he just fact checks me all the time. Yeah, but that one, that's so fun. I didn't know that I was in your first ever game. I think
Yeah,
that if I was like 12, that was one of my first years playing in games because I had to, well, I don't know. I had to earn the privilege. I had to prove I could sit still at a table and not interrupt others before I was allowed in public.
you were always fantastic.
I'm glad to hear that. I try and extend the same grace to kids when I'm gaming it, and I'm running games and they have kids at the table. I
Yep.
extend the same grace of let's rock and roll, dude.
Yeah. Just treat them like little people. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, all
Exactly.
right,
Exactly. That's why I loved it when I was growing up. I got to feel like an adult for like 4 hours. Everyone treated you like an equal, and that was like the rush.
yeah. Yeah, that's cool. So
Yeah, well that's awesome. And then I do have to ask how Xcrawl is going.
it's going. I think it's going pretty well. I think it's pretty popular. I think a lot of folks are having fun with it. There are a lot of games that are getting run all over the place, which I love seeing. And we've gotten a lot of we're doing the Xcrawl Insider, so a lot of fans wrote in and with a lot of really cool stuff. It was it was amazing. So
That's
it's
awesome.
it's it feels really good right now. It feels really really good.
That's awesome. I'll never forget looking over and seeing you and then the Jumbotron and I was like, that's so
Oh right.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable, absolutely
Yeah.
unbelievable that this has happened to me. So
Yeah. I you earned it and you will continue to earn it.
thank you,
I know that. So,
thank you
well,
so
I
much.
am of course. And on that note, I think it is a great time to say we will be right
Absolutely.
back.
Happy holidays, all.
And we are back with a guest I'm sure you're all familiar with from Raw, Matt Robertson. How are you doing this fine holiday season?
I've been doing outstanding, and thank you. I've finally gotten on to the Goodman Games holiday special. I'm very pumped.
It's overdue, long overdue.
This
Uh,
is the only time of the year that me and Bob are, more popular than Joey Royale. You know what I'm saying? And I want to challenge Bob to a Santa Claus off. I know Bob used to play Santa Claus. I did a little
I was
Santa
gonna
Clausing
say
too.
the picture I got emailed. That's a tough competition you've got.
I know. Well, here we go. This will be the test right here. Ho, 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 ho. So
That's a
now we
pretty
got to
good
see
one.
when
Yeah, when
Bob
Bob
comes
comes
on.
on.
All right.
Yeah, that's we've had a challenge. This is a first on the holiday live stream. Well, how are you? How are your holiday plans going, sir?
I'm doing outstanding. I think we finally got most of the gifts purchased, maybe like one or two. My wife never wants towels for Christmas, and I always buy her towels as like a joke now.
Hmm.
Towels and washcloths. And she's like, "We have enough towels and washcloths." But you always gotta sneak it in there.
Hmm. Absolutely.
What are you hoping to get this holiday season? What's on your list?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. Do you want like the adult old person answer or like the fun young college person answer?
I mean, I'm an old person now, so give me that one.
Yeah, so I have a toaster, which would be really cool, or a rubber broom for my carpet. So
Nice.
so those are my old people answers. I keep joking with my family. They're like, I have a bunch of clothes on there, the normal 22-year-old stuff. And then every once in a while, there's one like odd, like a clothes steamer. I have a steamer on there too. They're like, are you sure that you want that? I'm like, I would be just as excited about a Nintendo Switch as that rubber broom that right there because I have a cat now and things are getting a little hairy.
Isn't it crazy how when you move out on your own and you're starting the fulfillment of your whole life that your values change, what you want and what you find important, it's totally different.
Yep,
Uh,
I bought
Props to
myself a
your dad.
blender the other
Yeah,
day and I talked about the blender for a week.
props to your dad for raising you, to be able to get out there and be a strong, independent woman. My daughter just moved back up to Washington. She's in Vancouver now, and she's 22 as well, as a matter of fact.
Oh yeah? What's she doing in Vancouver?
She went to school at the University of Portland, so
Oh,
she
very
she went
nice.
up there and she was in Portland, Oregon for 4 years, 3 years. She came down home for COVID for 1 year, and
Yeah,
so she went back and moved up there with her friends.
a
What
lot
about
of
have
us
you
did
been?
that.
Are you thinking about traveling anywhere? Or are you gonna settle down close to?
That's you're asking the hard-hitting questions today.
I mean, it's a holiday special.
So
I don't know if
yeah.
I'm gonna be back next year, so I got to get them in while I can.
So I right now I'm staying in Iowa for grad school. I just worked really hard over the last 2 years to achieve residency, so I'm not abandoning that tuition cut that I just worked so hard for. But I am half joking, half seriously planning a cross country road trip with one of my friends over the summer to just take a car and for like 2 weeks just go west and see what there is because I don't get to travel much. I throw myself into work and school and things like that. So I'm hoping to get to explore a little bit. Maybe potentially I'll end up in Seattle. That's always been one of my dreams. So might end up pretty close to your daughter, but well, I don't know where Vancouver is honestly, so maybe not. I heard Oregon, so I know that that's close. So I'm operating off of that.
They're in the same state,
Okay, okay.
And it's not
uh
like Texas where everything is 8 or 10 hours away. So
yeah, exactly. Well, even here, it's 3 hours back to Chicago, which isn't too bad. But might move back home next year if I don't get into grad school. We'll see. So it is really just playing it by ear and flying by the seat of my pants.
you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it. I already heard
That's
Harley was trying to bribe the officials with stuff from his basement. So we
yeah,
got
they
you
just
covered.
keep receiving anonymous letters that have DCC stuff in them, and it's getting concerning. It's just scrawled on a piece of paper, "Let Haley in," and then
That's
it's just
right.
DCC stuff. There's no return address. I keep getting phone calls.
Absolutely. I mean, you're guaranteed.
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna happen.
that's the goal. But we haven't talked about gaming at all. Let's talk about Raw a little bit. I know that that is a regularly occurring show, so let's fill me in on that. I don't have a lot of time to watch streams, unfortunately, but I know it's a a hotly debated show, well, a show where you hotly debate, I guess. Rules is written.
We try to introduce every episode and go over an aspect of Dungeon Crawl Classics, Mutant Crawl Classics. We're doing X Crawl Classics right now, and we take a piece of it and we really dissect it and dive into what it's about, what the rule book talks about, rules as intended or rules as interpreted. And we have a 60 episodes so far, so we're getting up there in
Yeah,
the
that's
episode count.
commitment right there. I gotta ask, is there a section about homebrew versions? If not, I
Mm,
think there's potential to add how it's been interpreted individually.
I think Stefan did one episode about it, but not a full episode. It was when I was at a convention, and he said, "Well, I'll just do something about building something homebrew." But I don't think it addressed it specifically. It was just something he was working on.
Yeah, I'm just spitballing here. You know, we have the Deshane rule, which has basically been co-opted by most, as far as I know. So I think there's some room to talk about how things have been interpreted at home.
Absolutely, yeah. So we've
That's
had a
awesome,
ton
though.
of great guests on there. Speaking of which, I'm going to commit you for 2025. Put the hand up to the screen.
Oh
That
no,
seemed to
not
work for
the.
Harley. You
Why
know,
is
I
this what
mean,
we're doing?
put the hand up to the screen.
Hands up to
I
the
need you as a
screen.
guest on Raw for 2025.
All right, I'm known to be combative, though. I'm sure you've heard. So
All right.
yeah, just you got to catch me at the right time of year. Shoot for there's not really a good time of year, but
I'll just keep hitting you up. You ask
yeah.
anybody. I just keep sending you emails, and eventually one of those days is gonna work.
That usually works. The first one, I'm like, oh, I need to answer that. And then I don't answer it. And then I get the second one, and I go, oh, no, okay, this one I actually have to answer. Now I feel bad.
We'll get you
I
on there.
I did also want to ask you how CyclopsCon went.
CyclopsCon went pretty amazing. This was the first time that I was kind of in charge of the plan of the CyclopsCon event. So we had a ton of judges, literally so many judges submit great games that we ran out of players for all the judges. So we need to make that player base bigger. We need more players because we had so many judges turn in amazing events.
That is
But
incredible.
on the customer service side, I didn't run any games because I wasn't sure how much I was going to have to mess around with stuff. I think I only got like one thing that I had to change, and it went smooth.
That is incredible. I've almost never heard of such a thing. Everything going right all at once?
Yeah, it was
Hearsay.
astonishing. But
That's incredible. I'm sad I had to miss it. I ended up with walking pneumonia that week, which I didn't know was a thing.
did you have to go
But
to the hospital?
I had to go to the doctor twice. The first time they repeatedly accused me of mono, which I have already had, and even though I'd informed them of that, they see a 22-year-old college student, and they're like, "No, you've got mono." we know that walking pneumonia's been going around, but it's mono. But eventually I did go back and I got my antibiotics and I got an inhaler for the first time in my life, which was kind of cool. Um that's
Those
I'm
are
trying to look
fun.
at the bright side that I got to try something new with an inhaler.
I mean, it's an experience. Add
Yeah,
chalk it up to the I've done it list.
exactly. I can't wait for my poor children one day. They're going to be like, "Mom, I don't want to go to school." And I'm going to get to say, "I went through finals week with walking pneumonia. You're fine." The uphill both ways argument that parents make.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good argument. It works because then you can send them out, and they little embellishment.
Yeah,
It's not too bad.
exactly. Exactly. Well, it sounds like everything is going amazing right now, and let's hope that that trend continues into 2025 for you.
I hope so, and everyone as well. Merry Christmas to everyone. Uh, that's it. I love you
All right.
guys.
Yeah, we'll see you. We'll be right back. All right, we are back yet again with more family. Jim Myers, how are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you, Haley?
I'm here and I'm happy and I'm with my people, so that's all I could ever need.
Yeah, happy holidays indeed. I was very excited to get the invitation to join you all this year, and so thank you for that. I was super excited.
Awesome. I'm excited to have you here. This is my time to see my friends and family that we we live very far and have other obligations this time of year. So
That's fair. I look
I
around. I look around the screen here, and I'm like, everybody I see pretty much only at cons and get a chance to chat. From time to time via email or messenger or something, but it's always awesome to get to see everybody around this time of the year.
Exactly. So I'm in the same boat with you that I would see everyone in August and March and like that those were my two. Now I throw October in there with Gamehole Con, but it was like I get to see everyone twice a year and I was like, this is not enough time with my people. So I of course had to email Joseph and figure out a way to make it everyone else's problem.
Well, you've done a good job, so
I'm glad. I'm
thank
glad.
you for adding me to the problem list.
Of course. How are you doing this holiday season,
I'm
sir?
doing great. We're getting ready for our family Christmas here tomorrow. Like I said, getting it out of the way early this year, so that's exciting. Um, yeah, and then so I think for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, we do a my family usually gets together Christmas Eve and goes out for Indian food every night because it's like one of the few restaurants open.
That
So we're
sounds like a
heading out
great
for that.
tradition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's we don't ever call it a tradition in our house. We call it
Right.
something we do every year. Because as
Right.
soon as we call it a tradition, it's over. It's
Yep.
done.
And then it can't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Restaurants close,
Yeah.
things
This
come
is
up. Yeah.
this is a thing we do every year.
Yeah, like, oh, remember that
Um,
thing we did last year? Maybe we do that again this
we
year.
will do that again. Yeah, we like that place. And then I think it's just gonna be me and my wife on Christmas Day, so that actually will be kind of nice and quiet.
Yeah,
So,
nice and peaceful.
yeah, movies, maybe some board games.
Yeah. You got to throw A Christmas Story in there if you haven't already watched it this year. That is
Yes.
my go-to holiday movie is A Christmas Story.
Okay.
I reference it constantly. I just got a cat and he has yellow eyes, so I yellow eyes, yellow eyes. I always yell at him year round. So that's my one demand is that you have to watch A Christmas Story at least once this year.
I
And that
like it.
goes out to everyone watching as well. That is my holiday decree. Everyone will be watching A Christmas Story this year.
I like it. There were Christmas shows. I could hear them echoing up the stairway most of the day today because my wife was busy in the doing stuff in the kitchen and getting things ready for everybody to come tomorrow. And she had, Frosty the Snowman and all the old school claymation
Yep, I was gonna say the
Christmas
claymation
specials.
Rudolph. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, claymation Rudolph. All that stuff was playing in the background, so
that's the
they
right way to do it.
echoing through the house all day today.
That's awesome. Well, there is something I'm dying to ask you about because it's something
Yes,
I'm super excited about. Crawl for the Cure.
crawl for the cure. Well, I
Talk to me
mean,
about it.
okay, I will say one thing first and foremost about Crawl for the Cure is Crawl for the Cure does not happen without Corey Welch, Hazel Welch, and
Yes.
Steve Marino. Those three do the yeoman's job of making that event happen every year, and I could not be more grateful for the three of them every year, making sure that that happens. But yeah, it was a big year for the Crawl for the Cure. We did Dark Tower at Gamehole. We raised a little over $4,100 for the
That's
American Cancer
amazing.
Society. So that was cool. And then just last weekend, we had the Ether Meet, where again we raised a little over $3,500 with a ton of great people, and some of them on this screen here were joined us for playing that day, uh, and had a good time for that. And so according to Corey, our 5 year impact for the Crawl for the Cure now is over $27,000, which
That is incredible work. I
yeah,
want to say mad props to you guys, but that doesn't feel like it does enough justice. Like mad props, like that is truly inspiring and
it's pretty cool.
incredible.
It's
Yeah.
it's really a cool way to take something that we all love in gaming and give something back to it. And everybody's been touched by or knows somebody who's been affected by cancer, and so
Yeah.
it's important.
Yeah, it's
Important
it's
work.
definitely an issue that a cause that is so near and dear to I think everyone I know. And it's so amazing that you guys have found a way to affect that through gaming and make a positive
We do.
impact doing something we all love and again make this community even like an even better place for everyone. So
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
is truly incredible.
I do have one thing I want to talk about though for the Crawl for the Cure for sure, and that is coming up next year for Gamehole. I'm working with Keith Nelson, and we are going to try and do X Crawl for the Cure.
That's so
So
exciting.
all you writers out there, watch for emails, or if you're interested and you want to email me, you can drop an email to xcrawlcure@gmail.com. I'll put that in the chat in a few minutes. xcrawlcure@gmail.com, and let us know that you're interested in participating. We're going to put out a solicitation to gather up some encounters. And Haley, I know now to email you twice.
I
So
keep giving away my secrets.
yeah, we want to try and do the whole idea here is to do a community developed X crawl, like a mega X crawl, to be the big event at Gamehole this year, and then hopefully we'll pull it together and get it up on Drive Through RPG as something that will continue to raise money for the American Cancer Society going forward. So
That
obviously
is
there's
incredible.
hurdles to clear. There's still some things we have to do. Obviously, we'll have to send it to Joseph for his blessing. But you know, that's something we definitely want to do, and hopefully we'll make that happen for this year. It's
That
a little
is
lofty goal for
incredible.
this coming year, but
You know what? Shoot high.
yeah,
Shoot for the moon, you land in the stars.
exactly.
I maybe that'll be my first writing because that sounds like a fantastic cause, and I might be able to sit myself down at a desk
One
and write
encounter, Haley. You
and
can
write
do
one
one
encounter.
encounter. One
You'd
encounter
think
you can
you'd
do.
really think I could.
I'm even going
You'd
to try to do one encounter, and I have not written an encounter ever. So
that's incredible, and yeah, I keep me posted. I can't wait to hear about it and potentially be a part of it. That's You guys do incredible work, and I know that everyone is grateful and everyone appreciates it and thinks it's as inspiring as I do.
thank you, thank you. No,
Yeah.
it's great to be a part of it. I'm eternally grateful to Corey for inviting me to be a part of it, and I will continue to go back every year to help and be a part of it as long as I can.
Yeah, that's incredible, and I hope to continue to see you guys at GameholeCon, and
Absolutely.
I'm sure I'll see you for X Crawl.
Sounds good. Yeah, I heard the X Crawl tournament at Gen Con this year again. Is that what I heard?
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah, I'm getting
So
nods. I'm seeing nods. Yes.
I was kind of on the I'm not sure if I'm going to Gen Con this year, and then I heard that and I'm like, well, now I have to go. You
Yeah.
know, last year I
This
had excused absence because my daughter got married, but this
yeah,
year I gotta
that's
go. So
that's pretty important. I think
yeah.
I said it, getting married during a convention weekend. Whoa, crazy, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, you know, what are you
um
gonna do?
yeah, I think this might be the first year. I'm not sure. This might be the first year I'm not moving actively during Gen Con. So, Gen Hol Gen,
Gen
Gen Con.
Holcon?
This is how you
Gen
can tell
Con.
that
I'll go
finals
with
has rotted my brain to be absolutely nothing. I'm just
it's all
merging it
good.
all together.
We know what you're
Gen
talking about.
Gen Con is when we celebrate Jen Brinkman, which we'll do later today as well. Um, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us,
Yes,
and we
thank
will
you.
be right back.
Happy holidays.
the one and only Joseph Goodman himself, and a special guest appearance by Terry Olson.
Hello, everybody. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
How are you guys? Celebrating?
Good. Yes. Yeah. We're hanging out in Santa Cruz. It's a great town. You should totally come visit.
I'm gonna have to if I take that road trip west like I've been talking about. I feel like I'm gonna have to do like a DCC one as well, where I just stop by and visit everyone from Goodman.
You should. Yeah. You go west until you get to the ocean, then make a left, and then there's
Okay.
Santa Cruz. Yep.
That'll be helpful, since clearly, as discussed, I don't know where Vancouver and Oregon and Seattle are, so the directions are helpful. How are you guys though? How are the holiday plans?
Good. How are your holiday plans?
Holiday plans are good. I'm starting 3 weeks of vacation, so hopefully I get to read. I get to sleep.
Yeah,
And
that's
you
like
said you're
the
running
best gift.
DCC for your nieces and nephews.
Yeah, tonight I'll be running violence for Vodachal tonight. A little
That's
Lankwar
incredible.
for
How
3
old are
people.
they? How old?
Oh, they're in their 20s.
Okay.
They're in their 20s. But what's funny is since they were kids, I've tried to get them to game, and some reason Uncle Terry's not good enough. But it took.
You're good enough for me, Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it took the boyfriend of my niece to be like, dude, your uncle's got to run a game for us. And so that's
At
why
least-
we're running a game.
At least someone's got on the same page, same wavelength.
What
That's
about your
always how it
plans?
goes. I am headed home tomorrow morning, bright and early, to Chicago to spend a week and a half doing absolutely nothing and enjoying every minute of it. That's not true. I have grad school applications to write. But other than that,
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
I
I
will-
can't wait till I get to do nothing. That's great. You should thank your parents for that, by the way. They were probably responsible for some of that.
Or at least your dad.
Or at least your dad. Yeah, not sure about your mom.
I say do nothing. The moment I walk in that door, that man is going to have me working.
Oh, child labor is the best. Speaking as
Yeah.
yeah.
He jokes that he pays me a dime for everything I do. One dime for each thing that I do. So I think I'm up to about $6, maybe. That might be rounding up.
You know what?
Um,
If you were to commit a felony and go to jail, you get a raise. I'm pretty
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you. I'm hiring Joseph as my lawyer. This is. How about you, Joseph? What are your holiday plans?
No, they're good. My wife's uncle is throwing a Christmas party tomorrow, so we're down in Santa Cruz because it's kind of like near his house. And then so yeah, just reach out to Terry to say hi. But we're doing some Santa Cruz fun stuff, and then we're going to Ventura. It's another, again, go to the West Coast, hang a left when you get to the ocean. It's another
Got
town down there. But we have a travel trailer. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're going there on Christmas Day, actually. There's this really cool it's like a when I say trailer park, that sounds derogatory, but it's basically a travel trailer park that's like really well designed, so like my kids can scooter and bike around, and it's right near the beach. So we kind of
That's
just hang
awesome.
out near the beach for a week after Christmas, and the kids just have fun, and we eat tacos, and it's a lot of fun.
That's incredible. I was confused for a second. I'm like, scooter? Aren't there patches of ice? And then I remembered we're talking California. You guys don't
Right.
have to
Once
worry
you make
about
that left, there's like no more ice.
Okay, cool. That's great. That's good to know. And then I'll see you guys soon because I'm really sick of the ice here.
I've heard of ice. I saw that in the news, I think.
In your drinks, usually that's where you
Yeah.
find that
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
stuff is
That's
on the
where it
ground out
belongs.
here.
Well, that's weird. isn't it?
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
I know. Don't worry, you'll see it in March at GaryCon. It always manages to appear.
Actually, this year, so with my kids, it's hard to make GaryCon. Just as a parent being away too much. But it occurred to me I should just come on Thursday and Friday. So I'm planning to make it to GaryCon this year.
That's
Just
awesome.
Thursday and Friday, or maybe Friday morning before I fly out. I haven't actually been there. It's been a couple of years, and twice I had to leave early because like there was a baby at home, and I forget what happened, but I had to leave early
Yeah.
for one reason or another. But I'm looking forward to coming back because I haven't been there in years.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see you there. Yeah, I catch you at Gen Con every few minutes here and there in between running around and doing a million things that we're all doing. And then now I'll actually get to like GaryCon. That's great.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And I gotta put in one plug for I'm hoping to do this while I'm here in Santa Cruz. But so we did there's a tour where you get to see elephant seals in the wild, and we're going to the mystery spot, which is where gravity works in reverse. So if you ever look up the mystery spot in Santa Cruz,
Okay.
California, it's cool. The thing that Terry turned me on to, and Stephen Newton, who I'm gonna see tomorrow for coffee, is
Oh, that's awesome.
the Bigfoot Museum, which is here. Terry, tell them about the Bigfoot Museum. Let's start some business.
Yeah, you got to see the Bigfoot Museum. It's in Felton. It's run by this lone dude who
He believes.
he's a true believer. Yeah, it's sadly he's very ill, and I think it's going to close soon. But it's sort of
So get there while you still can.
a bastion of holiness.
All right.
In this area. But yeah, if everything you wanted to know about Bigfoot and more, the Bigfoot Museum in Felton, California.
I don't know if you
That's
guys
where
can
all
see
the
this.
cool people are at. All right.
Just wrote
cheers.
down Bigfoot on my desk. I'll not
All
know
right.
what that means tomorrow, but I've got it.
It makes sense right now. That's all that counts.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, it sounds like you guys are enjoying the holidays quite properly.
No, it's been good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my
All right.
wife volunteered to watch my kids for like an hour, so I'm good for another 10 minutes or so before they discover where I am.
Yep. Well, then I'll let you enjoy your last 10 minutes of peace, and I won't send them your location yet.
Okay, thanks. Good.
All right, and we will be right back. And we are back with Santa. No, wait, it's Bob Brinkman.
We're one and the same.
How are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic. How you doing, Haley?
I'm here and I'm happy. That's like I've said, that's all I can ask is to be with my people. Now, before we get much further, there's been a challenge laid on the table that I think needs to be addressed before we go any further. I don't think I can think about anything else until we've addressed it. I'll leave the floor to you, sir. All right, guys, chat, you're gonna have to vote on that one because in my mind that's a tie. I don't know. I can't make that call. Those were both impressive.
I have to go easy on Matt. I want to be back on Raw. I enjoy doing the show.
That's fair enough. That's the political ho 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 of you.
At Christmas, it's all political these days.
Yes. Well, what are your holiday plans coming up?
Well, Jen and I always do, at least since 2011, we do Homes for the Holidays. So we watch old Sherlock Holmes movies and TV throughout the holiday season. So we've been doing that. And Marion, Indiana is a Christmas town, USA. So there's a massive Christmas lights display that we're going to go see. As a matter of fact, after the Goodman Christmas party here. Last year there was a Christmas T-Rex, and that was really awesome. I'm looking forward to
awesome.
to seeing more Christmas dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then
that sounds great.
I have special culinary plans for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but I can't go into detail because Jen is listening and it's a surprise.
I see. Jen, cover your ears and eyes. Oh, well, that sounds like fantastic fun. The Holmes thing sounds really fun. I might have to add that to my yearly to-do.
It's a lot of fun. When we started, we began with Baffled, which is like a 28 or 29 second long pre-cinema like little flip film, and it was the first appearance of Sherlock Holmes in any visual media. And we've watched like a silent film that was recently recovered that had been thought forever lost. We've gone through all of the Basil Rathbone. We've been doing the Ron Howard series. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, the Basil Rathbone ones are the ones when I think Sherlock Holmes. Those are the ones that pop up here. Those are the ones I grew up on. But I also gotta ask, how are the holidays not in Florida?
Well, It's not like it's incredibly cold, right? I mean, there's a little snow outside right now, and I mean, we do have heat in the house, right? It's like summers in Florida. We had air conditioning, so
Yeah,
it's not too
true,
terribly
true.
bad. It gets a lot darker here than it did in Florida for a
Yeah.
longer period of time. But we also don't have to deal with all the snowbirds, so that's handy.
Yep.
Yes, Vance is happy that we don't have snowbirds either.
Yeah, my cat is for once being peacefully quiet next to me. I've never witnessed this before. This might be witchcraft. I'm not really sure.
Well, I've got Harlan's on my desk and Vance is on my floor crying at me.
Yeah, Nix, you can, when my dad's on later, he'll attest that he is a yapper. He loves to talk, and he will just sit there and the whole time. So I can't believe he's being quiet. But it's good to hear that you guys are adjusting to the
Yeah.
time change well with the early darkness.
Well, and I mean, I'm originally from the Midwest, right? So this is more of what I'm used to. I'm living in a place where people are generally polite, even if they don't like you, and that's a pleasant change from South Florida.
I can imagine. Yeah, I guess Jen's the one who I'm gonna have to ask how she's really holding up with the Midwestern.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
she's on
She
later,
does
I'll
things like
check
go
in.
outside during the week. So
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
a brave,
I go down
brave
to
of her.
the mailbox.
That's, you know what? That's outside. I count it. That's more than I do on my days off.
That's about what I do during the week. So
Then you're living my dream. All right. I want to ask you about your Uganda work, actually.
Oh well, I've been working with Ashraf, so it's not really my Uganda work, but I've been working with Ashraf Braden, who lives just outside Kampala in Uganda, and we've been doing we've done a series of just PDF e-zines, print and folds, and then we've done 2 collections now, the Legends of Uganda zines. We release them at Gen Con, and thanks to members of the DCC community, we raised funds so that Ashraf could purchase a laptop as opposed to writing everything longhand, editing it longhand, and then typing it into his phone and sending it to me.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That is
And
commitment.
yes, so he's got the laptop now, and he's at work on the next mini zine, which is going to be a collection of dangerous animals from Uganda, and we've also begun work structuring his first full blown adventure, which we plan to
That
have
is
out sometime
so
next year.
exciting. That's incredible. And again, another reason I love this community.
It is a great community. It
Yeah.
really is.
This is
The
my
folks
time
that-
of year where I just sit in awe of how incredible all of my people are.
Well, and there's with Ashraf's work schedule, because it's the busy time right now in Uganda, because he works at a Pepsi distributorship.
Oh, okay.
So it's their busy season. So rather than working like 50 to 60 hours a week, he's working 90 to 100 hours a week. They don't get paid anymore, mind you. They get paid the exact same amount. And if they don't work those extra hours, they just lose their job. So his writing has taken a back seat for a little bit, but he's squeezing in what he can until things slow back
Yeah.
down.
That's incredible dedication on his part to do that. Like I said, I complain about, my school and work, and I can't manage to write, but now I feel like I really don't have an excuse.
Just I think it was Terry Pratchett that said, just write 1,000 words a day, right? If you can write 1,000 words a day, at the end of the year, you've got 365,000 words. And I will say that I have not lived up to Terry Pratchett's write 1,000 words a day, but it's a reasonable goal.
Yeah, I might go with 1,000 a week, but that's still a decent amount of words.
Yeah, I see in the chat your father's asking if it can be the same word, and I'm pretty sure his word would be 4 letters and start with an F. So
Yeah. Yeah, I have my censor button ready for when he comes on, don't worry.
But so that's what Ashraf's been up to, and then I've had a pretty busy year. I mean, we had Caverns of Thracia at the beginning of the year, which was I'm still kind of riding that high. That was really, really exciting.
Yeah.
And then the crowdfunding for my latest third-party adventure, which is Evil Never Dies, finished up recently, and that should be shipping early next year if all goes well. So that was a lot of fun and exciting.
Yeah, that's incredible. It sounds like you've had an amazing year of just crushing it.
Well, and then I've got my my Patreon where I launched that this year because it was a pet project of mine that I'd always wanted to do, and I never did. So I realized if I started taking people's money for it, I would have to do it. And so I
That's
started.
genius.
Yeah, so I'm translating the Dictionnaire Infernal, which is an 18th century book on demonology. I'm translating it from French to English and providing gameable content for every single entry, and as well as
That,
like bonus content and stuff. I've been having loads of fun with that.
yeah, that sounds so fascinating, and I might have to subscribe to that because that is so interesting.
Well, and tell you what, in the spirit of Christmas, I'm going to drop a link into the chat that will give anybody that clicks on it a free 1 month acolyte level subscription to the Patreon, which means you can grab everything that I've already done because that is how Patreon works. So and besides that, I have a limited upper tier that. Every month they choose an additional they choose one of the entries that I've done, and they go through a list of proposed additional content and they pick one, and that goes into an e-zine called the Infernal Apocrypha that is free to everybody. So if you're a free membership of the Patreon, you still get this free zine that averages from like 10 to 16 pages long.
That is incredible. Okay, everyone watching, Santa has given you your first gift of the season. Go click the link, check out Bob's Patreon, and subscribe for more than the free month, maybe, because we love him and he's doing cool things. That is awesome, and I can't wait to check that out. That sounds honestly so fascinating.
Well, and
Yeah,
there's so much fun stuff that goes on in our community. I mean, there's great Patreons, there's great third party stuff. It's hard to keep up with all of it these days, but
it's impossible.
yeah,
I've given up, if I'm being completely frank. I hear about cool stuff and then I go check it out, and then when I hear about it, I go as I have time.
I get it. There was a point where if there was a DCC, Kickstarter or crowdfunder going on, I automatically backed it. And these days, unless there's something that is like a backer exclusive that you can't get later, I just have to get it down the road. There's just so much going on constantly, but it's great, right?
Oh,
There's
absolutely.
so many creative minds out there.
Yeah, the explosion of content to me is there's something for everyone, where like every avenue is being explored. It's incredible to see the things that the community is doing. That's
Now, granted, if you crowdfund the adventure that you're supposed to put out, I would.
what I'm busy that day.
You're busy that day.
Yeah, so I'll have to get back to you on that one. We'll circle back, touch base, reschedule, all that management lingo.
Got it.
And on that note, I think it's a great time to say we'll be right back.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And here to one up Bob, we have Jen.
Hello, everyone.
How are you?
I am well. I'm glad you are doing a little bit better, Haley.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been 4 months, but in my mind, it's just the universe's final kicks of 2024 to go clean into 2025.
Mhm. Much love and solidarity on that point.
Yeah,
Um,
but
it's been like 3 years since Gen Con, right? Um,
yeah, I think so. At least 3, if not 7. I might argue for 7. Um, I gotta ask how you're doing with the time change. I told everyone we'd ask and check in and how you're doing.
the time change that, I mean, we all had daylight savings roughly around the same time, right? I think.
Yeah, but the getting dark.
I mean, it did that in Florida too. I don't know how to break it to you.
I don't understand. Look, we've learned, if we've learned one thing today, it's Haley's geography skills need a lot of work, right? So this is what we're calling learning for me. So what is it like in Florida? Does the sun come up and down? I'm not.
Sometimes it depends on how.
Okay. Okay.
It's been a really interesting experiment, if we could call it that. The summers are pretty much the same. Uh, I mean, we got up to the same highs here in Indiana that Florida was getting.
Oh, I didn't
And
know that it was that close.
but no, it geographically it is not.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
the temperature spread
Got me
was
there, Jen.
so similar. And we just had our second real snow, and I've been told I have to send Matt Robertson pictures of snow now. So he got a few shots yesterday. And it's, I think, like 23 degrees ish, but we've got gas heaters in the basement, so it's fine.
Yeah.
We've got skylights upstairs, so I don't even have to turn the heat on. And the way this crazy house is built, we're holding steady at like 68 degrees without
Oh,
having the
nice.
heat on.
Yeah. So you're basically still in Florida.
No, it's warmer there.
Okay.
It is warmer there, but I get to wear socks now, and
That's
that's kind
fun.
of cool. And
That's very fun.
long sleeves, and I get to wear, scarfy things, and
Yeah, you get to actually like winter up a little bit, bundle up
yeah,
a little bit. That's fun.
yeah. It's been kind of crazy this past year, like right after GaryCon. Oh, or so sick and so bored, and I could no longer focus on a book or my phone or anything. So I reminded myself that, hey, something like 30 or 40 years ago, a lot of my elderly women relatives had tried to teach me how to do crafty stuffs. So I've taken up crocheting again for the first time in all this time. Bob's like,
That's
we've been
that's
here how
really
long?
fun.
You could do this? I didn't either.
You're like, yeah, I wanted to now. When I got my walking pneumonia, I turned to coloring. So I got the Doug Kovacs coloring book out and some colored
Nice.
pencils, and I sat there and I colored because I was in the same boat where my brain can't comprehend language, and
Mhm.
somehow even like watching TikToks is not happening.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna color in my pretty little shapes.
Yep. And you're gonna have some semblance of control over where stuff goes,
Yep.
and have like a modicum of creativity outlet. And yeah, so now it's kind of like the Zen thing. When I get home, sometimes I find myself irritated because I have a commute, because I can't do it at the same time. Like if
Yeah.
somebody was to train home.
Yeah, you kind of can't. I mean, you could probably steer and do it if you really committed to it. It's the vision that I might be concerned about.
Yeah, when it's dark, it's a bit busy.
Yeah, I could understand that one. All right, let's switch to gaming, Jen. Fill me in. What have we been up to this year? I know you've been incredibly busy with many things.
I am gaming adjacent.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten to play like 2 or 3 games this year. I don't think I've run a single one since New Year's last year, or New Year's Eve rather. Um, yeah, so it's kind of weird on that end, but I get to see all of the cool stuff when it comes in. And right now, yeah, we got a couple of containers full of more pallets than I know what to do with.
Don't ask my dad, he'll tell you.
Mm.
He's
Just tell you that the process of unloading those two particular trucks took an entire day, and I logically I know it was last week, but I'm pretty sure it was sometime back in September.
Yeah.
The way my time dilation has been.
The time dilation this year, I have never experienced it quite as bad as I have this year, where I still fully believed it was mid-November until I still kind of do believe that it is mid-November.
It's just one thing after the next big thing. It's like
Yeah.
breathing room. That would be
Yeah.
great.
I just keep reminding myself day by day. Just 1,000 words a day.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
What cons do you expect to be going to next year?
Next year I am, let's see, opening with GaryCon. And then I believe there is discussion potentially of North Texas. Maybe.
Ooh.
And then we have Gamehole Con and Gen Con. I got those
Not
backwards,
necessarily
but
in that order. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I jumped. I'm all over the place. But yeah, I think North Texas is iffy. We're currently being harassed into going, so so I'm sure we'll make an
Yeah.
appearance.
How do you think we ended up at our first Gary Con?
Yep. Oh yeah, it's the best kind of harassment. It's all your favorite people going, "We want to see you. We want to see you." And it's like the best. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So it's looking like, okay, yeah, Harley's made the call. We're going. So yeah, we're looking at those four. We'll see how many of those are Dynamaps or how many of those are Haley going to run and play in games.
Awesome.
Because again, my obligatory
Mm-hmm. Are you
my
holding
Vanna
it
White.
this time?
I think I'm holding it right this time.
Okay.
Nope. I'm so good at my job. This is why I get paid a dime.
Awesome.
I think Joseph might not want to represent me anymore in that lawsuit against my dad.
I do want to thank you for the reminder, though. I need to get the form ready to be filled out by all of you lovely, lovely people out there who will be running DCC and other games under the Goodman Games banner for Gen Con next year.
That's right, people. Sign
will
up.
be live very shortly.
Run games. Go to Gen Con. Come say hi. I miss you all dearly. Please. Please, I miss you. No, it is a great time when you go and you run games. We're all in the same area on Lucas Oil, and you see everyone. You're like, oh my God, Harley's running a game over there. Brendan's running run over there. Michael Curtis over there. I'm like, I'm surrounded by the A team. This is incredible. Yeah, so it is a very electric feeling to go and run games. So if you can make it,
Each table at the same time is still so isolated noise wise that you can still hear it.
oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. It is the best. Moving to that stadium, I feel like I get to be by Brendan without competing volume wise with Brendan, which is something I've never been capable of doing.
That is the best.
So it's incredible, and it's a very cool experience, and you get to see your favorite people. So please come to Gen Con. Please sign up to run games, and you get to meet new people, so many new people, and introduce new players. Yeah, so I know it's not really a plug to like sign up for games at Gen Con, but I'm absolutely going to try my best to plug it to everyone. Like, please come sign up and run games and introduce even more people. I mean, you heard Matt Robertson talking. We had too many people running games at our online con. We need to introduce more people to play in them. If you want to run games, we got to have players. So come run games at Gen Con to introduce new people.
Yes, very much so.
And that I won't have badger anymore to come to Gen Con, I guess. We'll see. That's awesome though. It sounds like we've all had quite the year.
It has been, I will say it's been an experience, but I've also gained experience, like
Yeah.
above and beyond what I could have ever imagined for this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the warehouse crew right now, we've got like 7 people packing boxes as opposed to like
That's
1 or 2. It's
yeah.
crazy pants.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, it's just crazy to think about like when I first came to Goodman Games DCC, like it was still the playtest paper stapled together Harley at a table, and now it's like seeing this is just insanity. Like
Yeah. Even I'm
I'm at a
losing
loss.
printing we're on.
Yeah, I have no idea, but it's just incredible to see, and it's the perfect excuse to get to see all my favorite people. So I'm so glad that everyone's thriving because it means I get to keep seeing everyone all the time.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's all I
Come
want.
join us. Hashtag not a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss you all very, very dearly.
Yes, and we look forward to seeing you at Gen Con, which we will, because I've made my second decree of the evening, my second holiday decree. You are to watch A Christmas Story, and you are to come to Gen Con. And with
Yeah.
and with that, I think we can say we will be right back.
Good night, everyone.
And now we're going to take it down with a little Tim DeShane on the Goodman Games holiday special.
Welcome, Tim. That was incredible. Thank you, Jim Myers, for that incredible introduction.
I feel like Optimus Prime.
That was truly incredible. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well as can be, I guess. Thank you for asking, Haley. How are you?
I'm as for the millionth time this night, I'm with my favorite people, and I'm so happy that I get to see you all and finally catch up again after
I
the
was
hectic
gonna
year.
I was gonna recommend to avoid the walking pneumonia and go the Harley route and have skateboarding pneumonia.
That's, that's next. My brother's
Yeah.
girlfriend just texted me to ask if I wanted to go snowboarding this trip home. So I could maybe potentially do both in a year.
Oh, also your dad freaked me out during Crawl for a Cure because he referred to your brother's girlfriend as his wife, and I was like, "What? Did he get married?" And I was not told about this. But
Yeah, no, they're just like at this point I like her as much if not potentially more than my brother. So
I mean, that's
I
understandable. Yeah.
yeah, so I we say they're married because like we all want it to happen, so we're manifesting that. But yeah, no, he's still not married, just basically married at this point in time.
We're never gonna get him back to gaming now.
She actually wants she likes to game and she's been asking. So they came to Gen Con for a little bit. They didn't play in anything, but they came and popped in and said hi, which I think is the first time Connor has said hi publicly since we were like 14 and 15. So she's getting him on the right path. That's, she's got him.
It's because this is the first Gen Con I missed, aside from the COVID year since
Yeah.
like 2015 or whatever, and it felt weird. It
I
felt very
kept saying,
strange.
I'm like, where's Tim? And then I was like, oh, right. like,
Yeah,
like I don't think I've had a Gen Con without you there since
since
COVID.
you were young.
Yeah,
Yeah,
since ever.
I thought about. So I'm not. I mean, I don't even know what's going on next week. Never mind. I forgot to put in all my events for a couple of local cons that are coming up in the next couple of months. I dropped the ball on that. So asking me what's going to happen in August is you're not going to get an answer.
Yep.
But I did realize looking at some of the stats, at least before, I don't know if this was before or after last Gen Con, I was in the top spot for number of tournament games run, but you were behind me, but only by one.
Yep.
So
I
I don't
I
know
was
if,
looking at it and I was like, one game, Tim, one
yeah.
game.
So you might have overtaken me, or I might be still holding that one game
I
lead, and I have
think
to get there.
I'm not gonna try and pull it up. I can't talk and think at the same time. But last time I checked, it was I think I was behind you by one. I think this year put me up to like one behind you.
You're
So
definitely over me with player characters killed.
yeah, I think I'm second though. I think like Mark has me beat. Or it's like it's someone I was not expecting even a little bit to have to look out for to keep my reputation. And they
Hmm.
really came in from
I
the
think you
side
do a
and
better
stole
job
that.
at killing player characters when you're one of the player characters, not when
That's true.
you're one of the
That's true.
judge.
They have put me at a disadvantage by putting me as the
Yeah.
judge. Yeah, they've nerfed my special skills.
Yep.
That's very true. That's a good point. Um Sorry, I'm trying to read the chat as well and it's a
Hmm.
mess. But what are your fun holiday plans coming up?
Well, relaxing. This last week at school felt like it took a year's worth of school in 5 days. Like I was just like dragging. I was Walking Dead by Friday, waiting for the bell to ring. So luckily we
Yep,
have no. I've been coaching a lot of soccer, so we have no soccer practice this week.
very
Uh,
nice.
we only have a game next Saturday. I really have nothing to do um, between now and when we go back to school. So
That is incredible. That's the
yes.
best Christmas gift there is, just a break.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a couple of games in during the week. Um,
Yeah,
we'll see how that
that'll be
goes.
fun.
I had a um I had a weekend like winter gameathon wizard jam at my house.
Oh yeah?
Joey came for a day. I ran. Did I run OSC? Did I run Hyperborea while Joey was here? Joey, you have to remind me. Hyperborea. All right. And then I actually had to leave in the middle of my own game jam, wizard jam, to go coach soccer, and then come back and
That's
finish
that's
gaming.
committed though. That's
Yeah.
commitment. That's awesome though. I have to say, one of my favorite things, every time I open my Facebook, I see your daughter running games, and
Oh
I
man, I want to actually.
absolutely love to see it.
I kind of want to call her down just to say hello, but she has become seriously my protege. Like her first experience with gaming were like bedtime story stuff that we would do in a way that was kind of like running a game. And I
Yeah.
eventually added a D20 into our bedtime stories
Yep.
so that way she could affect them, right?
That's how you always get
Then
them. That's how my dad got me.
yeah,
That's how you get them.
and then Brendan was running the game at my house one time, and she came and sat in, and he let her kill a monster, and that was like her first monster kill. I think he was running like his Monster Island game.
That's awesome.
Um, and now she's just like the first session of our RPG club at school. She ran like 4 or 5 weeks of zombie brain eaters that John Hambone McGuire and Brian Shutter wrote.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
so
incredible. I love seeing it. My heart is so full every time I see it, and
yeah,
I
it's
can't wait
awesome.
to get to see her at a convention sometime.
Yeah, I gotta bring her. She's been to her first convention now. She came to Total Con. So coming up, we have Total Con and Rising Phoenix Con. There are two like Massachusetts conventions
Mhm.
that happened like kind of southwest of Boston. And last year, Joey's son Elvis and she came and I ran, I think Shadow Dark for them and a couple other people sat in.
That's
They
awesome.
play a lot
Yeah.
together. Most of the times when they play together, the games just go like they eat stuff in the dungeon. Like they do like
Yep.
it was very much like Blades Against Bandwidth, right? Like I'm like lick the walls and eat,
Yep. It's when you put that one group together that's just pure chaos, and that's the best times there are. I mean, I remember at old Gary Cons, our family friends, the Franks, they have three boys that are varying in age, and I think Connor and I stagger them like perfectly in age. So we'd all sit down at a table, and one moment I'm not the proudest of, but it has been embellished on a T-shirt that I am forced to wear occasionally. I tried to burn goblins to create enough fuel to burn a door down. They might have been goblin children. That's here,
you
some
know,
say
but
they were, some say they weren't.
at
You could
least you were
tell.
goal oriented. Like most of the time, they're just
Yeah.
what can we do that's the weirdest? Like, so one time I threw one of the first games they played together. I wanted to have a weird item, so I just had like a jar with like an alien fetus
Yeah.
suspended in some liquid. And I had no idea what it was or what it was supposed to do or whatever. It's something weird to throw in there for them to be like, "Oh, what's this?" And then the first thing I think it was Elvis, like, "I drink the alien fetus water." You know, like,
You're like, well, that's most likely formaldehyde, so that's probably not great.
yeah. But
That's
I have a
awesome
group
though.
of so for our RPG club at school now, I took over that group to give Claire a break, and I'm running like Ravenloft for them. And it's 5 girls from 5th to 8th grade, and they're like the biggest murder hobos. Like I introduced
Yep.
NPCs to kind of give them hooks, and here's
Yeah.
the NPC for the hook, and they're like, "Yeah, I kill him." All
You know
right,
that
so
guy you spent hours building? I'm gonna stab him.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
awesome. That's
luckily, running old school games and being a DCC judge, like I have nothing that's like so sacrosanct that it can't be
yeah,
murdered. Like
exactly. That's and I've learned so often that the little girls, I'm one of them. I'm just as guilty of this. But you see this cute little girl and you're like, "Oh, she's so sweet. What would you like to do, sweetie?" And then you hear the most bloodthirsty, vulgar,
yeah.
crazy ideas, and it's incredible. Every time I never expect it somehow, and every time they do it.
The one thing I do that draws them right in though, and it can kind of calm them, is I give them a pet. I have animals show up. Like they
Yep.
make camp and like blink dogs appear and they're like, "Oh my God, these are awesome." And that kind of calms them down. It makes them
Yeah.
less
The
bloodthirsty for a little
the
while. Yeah.
bloodlust leaves a little.
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's humans have no value to them, but animals,
Yeah.
yeah, give them a pet owl bear, whew, they'll go nuts.
Someone in the chat had said like, does this mean that Joey will be on with an update on WHPA? That was so the last thing I wrote was for Joey, which I was very, very happy that he asked me, and that I was even able to get it done. He was very patient, as of course I was overdue by like a week and a half, or if not more. But he kept giving me like the great updates, like, "You can do it, bud. This is great," pushing me along.
Radiant positive force as
Yeah.
always.
So it's a Liminal Horror WHPA crossover. So Liminal Horror is a game that our buddy Brian Quartermanch got us hooked on. It uses like the Into the Odd mechanics, and it's like a weird horror RPG. So wanted to do a crossover that you could play either WHPA or Liminal Horror with, because I like both of those games so much, and I hope that it's people read it and enjoy it at least. I had a fun time writing it, so
I'm sure
um,
they will. I'll have to try and get my hands on it in Iowa somehow.
yeah.
I'm
So
not
Joey,
sure
this
if
is
they ship things here. It's corn. It's hard to see what's going on.
yeah. It turned into, so Joey, I think I can't remember the initial message, but people were like, "Hey man, like what's like the word count and what do you want?" And I think he might have been like, "Oh, like 1,000, like 500 to 1,000 words," and I did like 10 times that just because I kept going. But he was cool with it, so yeah. If you check out the backer kit, I'm not sure when Joey's gonna open it up to public sales, but it should be soon because the PDFs are already flowing in. So like I think he's gonna have his print copies he can tell you about, but it's
Yeah,
awesome.
luckily I have a feeling we might get an answer on that later.
Yes. And it's so sad. It's like the year in review. Sometimes when you have the Oscars, you like the people who have passed. But Joey and I played WHPA like just a few days before James Carpio passed. With Jay, we were at a con together, and we just had a great time. Jason Elliott was there with us. Some guys from Rhode Island. The Wolfman was us with Wolfman Zella was with us, and it was just crazy because we had just gamed with them, and we just saw on Facebook, a few days afterwards they had passed away. So that's 2024, in a nutshell. But
Yeah,
that's why I like being here with you guys which is like, you guys are the light, and today's the darkest day. So you never know what's going to happen in that yet, in the next year. So
yeah,
appreciate those people that you get to game with.
exactly. And go game with your friends, people.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Go game with them. Send your love, send your death threats, send your whatever. Just communicate. Yeah, that's awesome though. It's good to hear that you at least got to get that one last game in, and
Yeah.
that's all you can really ask at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And if you want to game with us in person, I think Joey will be there, but Total Con's coming up in February, and that's in Marlborough, Mass. and Rising Phoenix Cons in April. I want to say April. Yeah, April. And that's in Milford, Mass. Both are pretty close to Boston.
I have
They're
been
awesome.
dying to take a trip out east. I want to see the Lovecraft like bookstore that they have. I don't.
So that, I mean, my friend owns that. So
I am dying to go there, Tim. How have you never mentioned this?
well, I mean, it's Rhode Island, so like
Yeah.
half the state or more are my friends. There's not
Yeah.
that many of us. But I have an apartment. I have a loft. You're welcome. You know, you get to meet the Rugrat. So when you do
Yeah, I appreciate it. I've ever since I saw the Lovecraft bookstore, I was like, all right, that's it. I'm taking a trip
yeah,
out
it's
east,
fantastic.
and I happen to know a lot of people who live out east, so I'll have to do the rounds that way and visit everyone, and then I'll go out west and visit everyone, and then at some point I'll go south and visit everyone. I'll just do a whole cross country tour.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome, though. Well, it's amazing to get to talk to you and see you again, especially since we had to skip Gen Con. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for
And
having me.
of course, and with that, we will be right back. Hello, everyone. We are back with a face you might be familiar with as of recently. Joey, how are you, Joey?
Ciao, paisans. Haley, great to thank you for letting me be on this show. Happy Halloween. It's my favorite time of year.
Of course, thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate your presence. And as I was just saying with Tim, you are a radiant force of positivity that I love to get to spend time with.
Well, I got to show you where I've been getting my powers from lately. See that? You see what this is?
That is, and I'm going to
rocking-
hold it the right way this time.
I rock it on my goodie now. That's gold worthy.
Joey, you are one of our greatest supporters. We cannot express how grateful we are for you and all your support. It's so encouraging, and you know how starting things up are, startups and everything like that it's hard. And so having someone like you who's so supportive means the world to us.
Right back at you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, thank you. So how are you this holiday season? What are the big holiday plans?
I tell you, I'm tired and I'm cold. This is my time where I really like to take a second and give back to my community. Last year's Cigarettes for Tots campaign didn't work out so hot in town, but it's the thought that counts. But this year, I actually, for real, I love performing, and I work with kids. I have kids, and it's really the Christmas season for kids. But this year, I really wanted to focus on giving back to the elderly, because sometimes they get lost around the holiday season, and so what I did is, me and a couple of guys I just met, we put together something called the Stocking Stuffers, where a bunch of dads, 40 to 50, and we all have a background in tap dancing. So we went to a couple. We got we have a minivan, and we went to a couple of the senior citizen housing places around town, and we tried to put on some surprise shows, but like I said, once again, the thought that counts, they wouldn't let us in. So we were locked out in customized, I guess Speedos in the cold. Just got in, so I'm warming up at home now. So it's the thought that counts. My love to all the elderly of Fairhaven, but the security guard had a problem with that. So
I can't imagine why. It sounds like it's a personal problem that he has.
Yeah, and it was
he's
really
probably
cold,
going through a
so
lot. Yeah,
really
that's
cold.
That's all a him issue. It sounds like you were doing the right thing, and it's
I tried,
unfortunate that
Billy. I
that it
tried.
didn't work out for you.
Yep. So, but so I rushed home to be here. Forgot the pants, but we're doing okay.
I was gonna say, I'm glad you could make it, had time to
Thank you.
change.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Got the shirt on. So
Oh,
yeah, that's about it. That's what I've been doing. We're getting ready. The tree is up. The presents are wrapped. We're really looking forward to it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's switch to gaming a little bit. I think Tim just mentioned some very cool stuff you've been working on. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've kind of been in hibernation because I'm getting everything ready. Everything as of last Monday, I pressed the final proof, so everything is off to the factory for the WHPA backer kit. Thank you to all those that have been so encouraging, and that continues. I got Tim and a couple of my other close buddies. What I did is, so you're getting your WHPA hardcover. That's a draft of it right there. Pretty thick, pretty cool. And then I tried to turn the tables around and have other people contribute. So I have people like Tim and Hambone and Levi, and a lot of people, cool people that contributed to, it's called We All Have Secrets, which is just contributors. I have nothing to do with it. And it got so big. They submitted so much because I didn't put any, railings on it. It went from a 24-page zine, so now it's 92 pages, and I had to change the binding, and then it's like not a zine anymore. It's like the biggest thing I've ever put out. It's almost as big as WHPA itself. And then on top of that, anybody who backed it also got to contribute to like the WHPA Weirdathon telethon guide. So that's going to be another, 24 pages of just backers.
That
Submitting
is incredible.
classified ads. Yeah, I mean, it's all a scam. Everybody's doing the work for me, and I laugh all the way to the bank. But no, it was a neat way to get everybody involved. So
That is incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah,
I'll make sure you and Dad get a package, okay?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure you'll see our names under the Kickstart backer anyway. You know how we are.
That's
But
the maker
that's
part of it. But I've been playing a lot lately, which is cool because I hadn't for a while. But I have a 4th grade group at school. Once a week, we're running Sailors on the Starless Sea by some guy. Then I have a 5th grade group that just started, and these guys have never, ever touched like a 20-sided die before. These are actually the jocks of 5th grade. It's the baseball team. And I am running that. We just started last week with Doom of the Savage Kings. So I'm so psyched. They're loving it. They're like, where's you spend my whole life? I'm like, I know, quit sports and start going down to basements and drinking Mountain Dew. That's the healthy way to do it.
Yeah, we're all fine. We did it. Look at us.
Fine. Look at us. We're totally normal. Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow, I love to hear that so much. I gotta ask. Bloodthirsty, I've been talking a lot about the childhood scale of bloodlust,
Yeah.
Where do they fall?
Well, Tim told you when we play with our kids, they're crazy. The 4th graders are bloodthirsty. You take no prisoners, literally. It's like, save the hostages. Like, no, we're going to take their earlobes and like everything that's on them. But the 5th graders now, this is something I haven't seen before, except when my son was really little. I call this 5th grade group the Rube Goldberg group because, like in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the breakfast machine or the Rube Goldberg machine.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, all right, guys, there's I took something from Tim's game the other day. They were on a ship and a shark was coming after them. And it like the whole 40 minutes of lunch and recess was them trying to make some kind of thing. Like, I do rope work, but attach a grappling hook to it. And I'm going to attach my sword to the other. And they're just like, all 6 kids are just making one big weapon to attack. So that's this group. So 4th grader bloody, 5th grade is Rube Goldberg.
I love it. They learned to overthink in a year. That's incredible.
Yep.
I have learned a lot of times when I run my games for kids. There are those kids who are like, okay, if I do, and you're like, dude, you could just stab it, and then they do
just stab it in the eye.
They do the most wild thing, and it ends up being so fun because you think you know what crazy stuff they're gonna pull out, and then they somehow one up it every single time.
I tell everybody, if you want to learn how to become a judge, a decent judge, play with kids because they will just pave over everything in a whole new palette of weird.
Yep, and they won't care if you don't know
Nope.
what you're doing. So it's the
Right.
perfect time to get all that weird thrown at you because they don't care. They're having a great time anyway.
I do no pre-planning for these games. I show up
Yep.
and just let it go. So it's been
Yeah.
really fun doing
I
that. Yeah.
usually run not sailors. Now I'm blanking on the name. Dad, what's the name of the one I run? Can you manage please? I always run the same Portal. Thank you. I knew it started
Oh
with a P
yeah,
and I
yeah,
kept
yeah, yeah,
thinking
yeah, yeah.
Purple
That's
Planet.
yeah,
I always run Portal for kids because it's shorter and so
yeah,
then the focus is a little better. But not once has the game been the same. Same
yeah.
same adventure that I'm running. Not once has the same thing occurred ever. They managed to impress every time.
This is the one I'm going to play over break. I got 2 weeks off
Very
against the
nice.
cult of the hippie commune
I love
to
it.
loot the body. So this is going to be my next DCC thing
This
with
is
my adult friends.
this is what I mean. Like I don't even know about the cool stuff coming out. That looks so fun, and I'm so out of touch with what's going on.
There's just so much.
Yeah, yeah, and it's again, as we've said a million times, the right problem to have.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Sounds like you've been very busy though with the 90 pages over 24. I still can't believe that. That's
It was insane. I've learned a lot about layout over the past couple of weeks. Like, I'm doing stuff on Microsoft Publisher, and I'm lucky if I can spell check, and then all of a sudden I have to figure out bleeds and spine width and all that. So
Jen
it
is
was a
just
crash course.
maniacally laughing in the
Yeah,
corner.
yeah,
The
yeah,
the audience can't see, but I'm gonna fill
yeah.
you in. Jen is maniacally laughing in her little Zoom box.
Shout out to Jess McDevitt, who saved my life at the last minute with the cover. I had submitted the cover all wrong. Like the cover, that's like the thing. That's why I did this. And the company's like, no, we can't do this. So I'm like, somebody and Jess fixed it in an hour. So
Shout out to
McDevitt's,
Jess in
thank you.
general. Yeah,
Yep.
incredible. I hope you guys are doing well and that 2025 is nothing but amazing for you both.
They deserve it.
They do.
Yep.
That's yeah. So another great example of our community being
Our
incredible.
community is
Yeah.
amazing. And
Yep.
speaking of 2025, since I haven't done a pizza party in a while, it's coming back. Don't worry. I'm just sleeping. If you don't mind, Haley, I'd like to do one Garbage Pail Kid tarot read. Now, when Harley was speaking before, I shuffled up the deck 3 times as I always do, and I pulled a random card. I swear on my mother's eyes that this is a random card, and you won't believe what I pulled, Haley. I pulled Christmas. All right, say it fast. Christmas. So Santa, all right, he is the 7 of Swords in this deck. He was reversed, and I went to the guide, and I think you really need to listen to this, Haley, because we need Haley's sketch product for 2025. All right, it's in the cards.
It's in the cards. Hand to the screen, since that's what we're doing.
The 7 of Swords, Christmas. There's no point in beating around the bush. Reverse, this card warns that you're lying to yourself. Deep down, you know the truth, but are trying to convince yourself otherwise, Haley.
I wasn't expecting this tonight.
It's time to be honest and come to terms with what's really going on. Your bravery just may get you on Santa's nice list. It's
all right, people.
Cards, Haley. It's in the cards. The world
all right, people.
needs it.
You heard it here first. The tarot card reading has decided. I did also say I was going to write something last year, so, don't take my word. But maybe 2025.
Well, and here's the thing. We all have your back. We all need that push every once in a while. We all have life going on out there. But hey, without this kind of stuff, what is life? Without creativity and the friendship of the DCC community, you just end up with, nothing. So
yeah,
I'm glad to
exactly.
hear you're feeling better. Walking pneumonia is terrible.
Thank you. Yeah,
I just got over unicycle pneumonia.
Oh.
Terrible. I'm just getting my balance back now. So,
that's incredible. Well, I'm glad we're both over our pneumonias.
Yes, very difficult time of year.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, Joey, and I am so glad we got to chat. And
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody in Spaghetti Land. Haley, thank you so much for being so cool. I'm really glad we got to meet each other in person at Gen Con last year and roll some dice, you and your pops. But love you all out there. Merry Christmas. I hope you get what you want.
and we'll be right back. And last but not least, this guy.
Who has two thumbs and has to deal with her all the time? This guy.
As many of you most likely know, this is my father. Father, how are you doing this fine afternoon?
Good. It's been a hell of a day.
Right there with you, boss man. I was gonna ask about your holiday plans, but I guess they're kind of mine. Would you like to share our holiday
Well,
plans?
Yeah, we're going to your aunt's on Christmas Eve and your uncle's on Christmas Day. Yeah, we're going to Uncle John's this time. Figured,
Apparently, I didn't even know my Christmas plans this year. It's a good thing I asked.
well, I don't want to be the downer after Joey Royale, but we had a loss in the family this Thanksgiving, actually. And so we're trying to get my sister, with whom my mom lived, out of her house for the holidays so that she's not, faced with being in her house where my mom was the whole time. So we're changing it up a little bit this year and going to my brother's, which we almost never do, which is ironic because he's probably got the biggest house of all of us.
We have a surprise guest. I think you could tell I was talking to my dad.
There's Nick's.
The newest 2025 addition to my family, my son, Nick.
He has a breath weapon.
He does have a breath weapon. He
It's
also
worms.
has a booty weapon. Yeah. He's a stinky little dude. Yeah. I'm glad I asked about holiday plans because I had no idea what we were doing. But I think it's a good time to ask you, what's your big gaming news of the year?
Well, you've stolen my thunder about 6,000 times.
I have.
It's up here behind me, which Alana tried to get me to cut off somehow. We launched Dynamaps at Gamehole. This is what they look like. This is what they do. You can peel them and stick them, and they stay. They don't move. You can do this on pretty much any tabletop, any.
And they're not magnets, people.
They are not magnetic.
Not magnets.
As a matter of fact, when we thought we were so clever with our little tagline that says "Stick Stack Play," even Joey said it on his little thing that he did for us. Which, by the way, Joey, mwah. And we've changed it now to be, it's not magnetic, it's magic. We went to Gamehole Con, and I would say at least 60% of the people that walked up when we kind of accosted them, because you know how it is, it's kind of like being a perfume sprayer. You're standing out there going, hey, would you like to hear about Dynamaps?
Would you like to hear about our Lord and Savior, Dynamaps?
I preach to you the happiness of DCC? And so at least 60% of them said, oh, they're not magnetic. Everybody just assumed they were magnetic, which they are not.
So we've learned we have to change the tagline.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
they're
great
really
after
cool.
you've
They've
printed
got,
up all the backing.
Yeah. What Harley calls the nano tentacles. that are the things that do the really good job of sticking to the table so things don't move. This started as a quest 10 years ago. And we finally got it out as a product. And ironically, we were just visiting the printer the other day, and we've decided on a whole new product line. So yay, it just gets better and better every day.
But we're so very excited to finally be
Yes,
able
we
to
are.
give it to you guys because, like he said, it's been 10 years in the making. So this is kind of a passion project for both of us. And you know, I occasionally work, so
Oh,
I gotta get my dimes. Um,
yeah, you do. Hold on,
how else am I gonna afford all the corn?
someone said I should smack one on the, I'll just take that piece that I had.
There we
There you
go.
go, folks. And
I
then if you,
guess I could
yeah.
probably contribute to the sales pitch. Um, I'm trying to think. The problem is, see, folks, I always have him on here because he's family and he's gaming, right? So I always have him on here. But I forget that I talk to him every single day about one thing or another. So then there's not much for him and I to discuss. So what else you got, boss man? Entertain us.
Oh, my amazing daughter got an A on her final in a class that she was really worried about. So as you can see now, people, hallway, door, room. And that'll stay there. I have one in my front hall up on a casing in my front hall that's been there for about a month now. Hasn't moved, doesn't matter. They're waterproof, they're dry erase. Yeah, so if you want, go to limitingfactorgames.com and give them a checkout. My daughter, who is way smarter than she gives herself credit for, got an A on her, like it had to be almost a pre-med class, this class that she had. It was what was it called?
Behavioral neuroscience.
Behavioral neuroscience. And it was crazy. She was calling my wife every night for like 2 weeks to say
Teach her.
to try and teach my wife all of this stuff because that helped Haley learn. And it was crazy, the stuff that was being
Yeah.
discussed. So
Yeah, but I think for the first time I actually learned stuff, so that was kind of cool. That was a new
yeah.
experience for me. Well,
So that's
thank
cool.
you.
My
Yeah.
son is gainfully employed and happy at his job. And my wife and I happily married for 30, 31, 32 years now, I think it is. So everything's good, other than my mom finally going to her resting place.
Okay, I had to bring it right back down. I thought
that was the thing that really kind of messed up the whole flow of the year. Just really get that one good punch in before the end of the year. Gaming wise, the last gaming we did was at Gen Con. And the best part, I go to Spotify, and everyone knows, right? Spotify does their Wrapped.
Oh,
Well,
don't tell me yours was all disco.
I had the disco room at Gen Con. So my Wrapped, my top 10, 7 of them are Disco Inferno and Jungle Fever and everything I was playing at the table to run
So,
that
for
game.
those of you that weren't in the tournament at Gen Con, there was a disco dance room that was, you know, and he and I both ran it, and we were playing disco music during it. And that is incredible. You need to listen to more music then, because mine was Sabrina Carpenter all the way across the board. Short and
Yeah, that's
sweet.
sad.
Love to see it.
If you'd
Nope.
said Beatles, I'd have been proud of you,
Nope.
but now I'm just
She dropped
disappointed.
an incredible album, and I have absolutely no regrets about it. Well, you got anything else to add, boss man?
No, our discussions are usually boring because we just harp on each other or
Yep.
tell old stories that we've told all of these fine people. I do
Correct.
want to, this year we invited Matt and Joey and Jim, who I don't think have been here before. I think everyone else has been. And to me, I was just thinking about it when Jen was talking about, getting more people to sign up to run games and stuff. That this is how the community grows. It just, sometimes it's by leaps and bounds and sometimes it's by inches. And we just keep building the cult. I mean, building the community. So
cut the
that,
cameras, cut the cameras.
and it's really cool. And I'm really glad that Jim and Joey and Matt could join us, as well as people have become my good friends over 14, 12 years, 12 to 14
If
years,
I'm
something like that.
22, I think my first game with Harley was when I was 9. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy. It's somewhere
it's
between, I mean, but I was
that's
playing, the year before that. So I think it's 14 years now
gotta one
I've
up
been
me.
playing
All right.
DCC. So yeah, it's fantastic. And as much as I may annoy the hell out of you guys, I don't care because I like you all and I think you're really cool. And so I'm just gonna hang out with you whether you like it or not, you silly people.
And we
Um,
don't. Um,
um, other
I
than that, Happy New Year. Let's see, we've got Harley is gonna do his
was gonna do this part.
oh, okay. Then
I was going to say,
get your censorship ready,
yeah,
Alana,
hey,
because here
hey.
it comes.
I was going to say a very merry holiday season to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending a little bit of your Saturday evening with us. Getting to, even though I can't see you, I'm gonna go back and read the chat, and I can't wait to see all the funny things that you guys have been saying. I was just telling them it's hard to focus on saying this when I'm reading the chat, and you guys are the funniest people I know. We have Harley with his Purple Planet he's working on, Bob and his Uganda work, as well as go check out that demonology stuff. That sounds so freaking cool. Jim, we have Crawl for the Cure, incredible work. Tim is doing incredible work with kids in gaming and working with Joey, so check out his and Joey stuff that they're releasing as well. Jen, keep killing it in the warehouse. Dad, you exist. Brendan, keep working hard, and congrats on X-Crawl and everything. And Matt, I will hopefully see you on Rules as Written sometime in 2025. We'll see if I can commit.
See, and that's why I have to always be here as your backstop. Did you mention the charity for Harley?
Nope,
All the
Toys
stuff
for
he's
Tots.
giving away? Toys for Tots for him, and then yeah, you got the Crawl for the Cure.
Yeah.
Was there one we missed? Was there any we missed in there? I don't think
I don't think so. So yeah, actually, thank you. Toys for Tots, Crawl for the Cure. Do something good this year. Doing good makes you feel good. If you can, please donate. It means all of the world to these
Tell you
people
what,
on.
folks, make an offer on one of these bad boys, and we'll throw it to charity.
Whoa!
So this is the Dying Earth. I call it the Daniel Bishop cover because those who know Daniel Bishop tell me that's not him.
Yeah, no, that's 100% Daniel Bishop.
But this is the Dying Earth Magician. As Bob corrected me, this is not the Wizard. This is the Magician cover. Thank you for that, Bob. Yeah, so this is I'll say it's up for. I don't know how we want to do this. How do I do this?
Well, I don't think we were planning on auctioning, so maybe we can make a Facebook post on the Dynamaps Facebook. That's how we're gonna do
Yeah,
it.
there you go,
There you go,
guys.
there you go,
We're
there you
gonna
go,
do a
there you go.
Facebook post on
That's
the
why she's
Dynamaps
head of marketing.
Facebook and comment bid. What are we doing? I don't know what your goal is with this. Bid
Let's
and
comment.
then
We'll do bids at the best bid by Monday night on the Dynamap site will win this bad boy. Bidding starts at 50.
and all of the money will be going split. We'll split it 50-50 between
Yeah, between Crawl for the
Toys.
Cure and Toys for Tots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
if
think
I
that's
could
a
make a
great plan.
suggestion, if you start the bidding at a set number, then you're only going to get bids. But if you do a raffle for everyone that bids from $5 to $500,
My God, you're a genius.
All right, the plan is changing, everyone.
And that's the only time you're ever going to hear that from me, Matt Robertson, because I've seen Rules as Written.
You've heard it. You've heard it long before I have, Matt. All right, I think Matt had a great idea. We don't have a platform to comment your name and what donation you'd like to make, and we will figure it out tonight. I guess I have a FaceTime to figure out with my
We'll
father
put everybody
after
in a
this.
raffle, and Monday night, I will draw for that raffle.
Will go live on the Dynamaps Instagram, and you can watch us there to see who wins.
Listen to her. She's a genius.
Wow, he's throwing that around tonight. Quick, everyone say something.
Oh, no, don't worry, Haley. I already thought everyone else was a genius.
Oh, okay. All right, so go check out the Dynamaps Facebook and Instagram. I'll make a post that's cross-platform there as soon as we're done here. Comment whether it's $5 or $500, like Matt said, an amount, and we'll do a raffle on Monday night. And someone is going to win that book.
Still in shrink, folks, even though shrink is not a condition.
And with
It is
that,
mint.
oh, one last thing. Thank you to Elena, who is the only reason all of this is possible. She is incredible and amazing at her job and a fantastic person, and I love her very much. So thank you, Elena.
Thanks, Elena. Thanks,
Yeah.
all you guys, my good friends.
Yes,
Thank
and
you
it
all
was
very much.
incredible to see you all, and happy holidays!
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Ho, 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 ho.